Now, famously, Kevin, on Wager Talk today, you gave out a play fading Canelo when he was facing off against Bivol, and that got you getting victory laps all over the internet outside of the usual people hopping in the comments. So what are we eyeing in this one? Could it potentially be another falter spot for Canelo?
No. I'll keep it short. Look, getting Bivol at 7-1 on points it was Christmas. People were sleeping on how good Bivol was. And look, I'm not dissing Ryder. But no, this is definitely not the same type of fight. Huge fight, obviously. Canelo's first return to his native Mexico in over 11 years. So, Guadalajara is going to be pumping this weekend, for the return of the king. I know no one was necessarily clamoring for this fight to happen. But John Ryder earned a shot. He got through the WBO rankings. He is the mandatory. So, in a lot of ways, he's deserved this fight, especially because he's been hard done by over recent years as well. But I am excited for this one, although I'm not sensing an upset on Saturday either.
All right, so no upset incoming here, Kev. But what are we going to do with Canelo then? Are we just taking him out, right? I'm guessing it's probably a price that we would have to lay. So are you going to find a way to maybe get this a little bit more palatable for folks than laying some crazy price?
Yeah, definitely. You're kind of priced out of taking Canelo straight up here. But, I've seen a lot of comments on social media over the last few weeks, obviously. Who is this John Ryder guy? He's no doubt another, Euro/British journeyman coming over. And I do believe, I will say this about John Ryder. I think that, I think that's a little harsh on him to describe him like that. We've seen British fighters cross the Atlantic before, going up against pound for pound level superstars and almost mail it in. You think Anthony Crolla versus Vasily Lomachenko. You think Rocky Fielding fighting Canelo back in 2018 as well. Fights where, they came over, earned their spot at a mega fight, but effectively cashed out to a degree. I even remember in the lead up to that Rocky Fielding Canelo fight, Rocky Fielding was taking snaps with Canelo at the top of the Empire State Building like some type of fan instead of an upcoming opponent. That won't be John Ryder this weekend. Ryder is like some type of extra from No Country for Old Men or something. He's tough, he's grizzled. And if this was a fight based purely on persistence and will to win, Canelo he might have met his match on Saturday night. But the reason that I don't like John Ryder's chances in this is his style. He's got to where he is through a mixture of being persistent. He's front foot. He's a pressure fighter. He kind of grinds his opponents down. He's got an underrated inside combination punching as well. Let's rip with 4 or 5 punch combinations. But his style just fits so perfectly against Canelo, in my opinion. So as tough and as rugged as John Ryder is, there's not too many fighters in the sport that can sit on the inside, look to trade against Canelo. I just don't see that happening. So I believe this one ends in stoppage on Saturday night. Like I said, Ryder's a tough guy, but walking forward, constant pressure. He's often guilty of leaving his hands low as well. That's a recipe for disaster against Canelo this weekend. And I can see this one ending somewhere in the middle round. So it is a little tricky to find out exactly when Canelo will likely get the stoppage. I was not looking initially at rounds 5 to 8. That looks decent. But I've gone for the slightly bigger price of Canelo to win in rounds 4 to 6 at plus 275. Looks a big price there, as, I believe John Ryder, just based on his style, he'll be doing extremely well to get to the second half of the fight this weekend.